What's up everybody, welcome back. So yesterday I put out a guide for you guys with beginner tips, talking about what starting heroes are great, what to buy from shops, who to farm. Today I'm going to be giving a list of the top 10 heroes currently available within the game. We have several that you can only get through legendary events or epics or something that we cannot get yet. Some characters like Thalan or Buff, we currently cannot farm them, so they will not be on this list, though I'm sure some of those down the road will be available and will make it onto this list. This is just for the top 10 characters that we can currently get within the game. If you guys are interested in checking out Dragon Champions, there's a link to it down below in the video description. Hopefully you guys check it out, get interested, and click on that link. Though, a note for anybody who's using their computer to click on that link, it's not going to work for you properly. It's going to send you to the Apple Store. So just be aware of that. It's a link for tracking through phones. So just keep that in mind. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the top 10 heroes for this game. So the first character on my list is none other than Hera, a very strong lead for the Pride faction, and that is because what her lead does for your tanks within there, it gives you a very valuable pre-taunt, in fact the only pre-taunt currently available within the game. Now it's not just her leadership, she also has this ability where she can give a dodge increase and then give it to an ally and everyone else gains invisibility. This is also a sort of way of enforcing a taunt onto one character as well. So if, let's say the taunt is on cooldown for your tank, you can use this ability and put that force taunt on your tank once again. You know, help protect some of your other characters. She also has some good single target DPS. She can stack this up with combo points. Overall, she's a very strong character, a really solid plug and play character, mostly because of the force taunt with her invisibility. She will give you some single target DPS that is pretty good, and of course that leadership with her when paired with the right characters is very valuable as well. She's definitely a good character I recommend for later on once you start working on your clans faction and you have a lot of Pride characters. You can throw her in and this is going to make them pretty good. Overall, I really enjoy her, one I've really been playing with and really liking so far. So next up on my list is Ken Lee, a tank for the Order, also Panda, one of the stronger races within the game right now. And the main reason that makes him so good is his taunt. It gives him a taunt and a dodge increase for 2 turns and removes 2 debuffs. And he also heals 5 or 15% of his health. When fully upgraded, that increases to 25%. Yeah, he's a very annoying tank to deal with. Every time I have to fight him, I get kind of annoyed because of that dodging, plus the fact he's able to heal himself with this, but then he also is able to heal himself with his unique when fully upgraded, recovers 20% health at the start of his turn. He's a very self-sustainable tank. One of the better tanks in the game by far, and it's mostly because of this, the fact that he can constantly heal himself back up and just keep going and be very just very durable. That is something I really like about him, and that's why I've been using him so much within the game. It's because I don't have to worry about constantly healing him up. He does it for me. So one of the better tanks in the game, one I highly recommend you guys put on your list to farm for the future. So next up on the list we have Santara, and I'll be honest, she is hands down the best healer currently within the game. Everything she does is about the healing. Her basic can heal allies for a chunk of the damage that she deals out. She can sacrifice some of her health and do a lot of healing to your team, or she can heal herself with the Kiss of Death ability and recover a good chunk of health with that as well. But the thing that really puts her over the top is her unique ability. When fully upgraded, she restores cooldowns on herself, and she's also able to restore turns for the cooldowns on someone else on her team. That is a very, very powerful ability. This allows her to use her Kiss of Death ability quite often, which when paired with her other healing ability allows her to really help just keep the team going. She's a very strong healer for this, and this is why I have her in my top 10. If there's a healer you're looking to get in the game, I recommend you go for this character. She is just that good. Way better than a lot of the other healers out there, and honestly just incredibly strong when it comes to that. Plus the cooldown reductions with her unique, yeah, it's hard to say no to that. So the next character I have on my list is Snorri. Now, I still love this name. This name's great. Snorri is a great damage dealer for your team, and the main thing that really makes him great here is this ability to go into a Berserker stance. When fully upgraded, he is able to cleanse debuffs from himself. He gains 25% crit chance and 40 speed while within the Berserker stance. Now, if he goes outside of it, he's able to then gain these magic armor and tenacity increases. And for those of you new players, you're probably seeing this right here, where you have this synergy with Freezard. Freezard is a character available to a lot of new players, and this gives you some synergy between the two. A lot of magic armor and tenacity on both of them. Fantastic stuff there, but his damage on his own is really great here. Plus, on his basic, he has the ability to gain the buff accuracy increase, which is really helpful when you're fighting a team that has a lot of dodge increases on it. Like, say you're fighting against a Kin Lee, Snorri's a great tank to help fight against that because he's able to bypass the dodge and do a lot of damage. So Snorri is a strong damage dealer that also is able to really counter teams that like to rely on dodge. That is something to keep in mind. This is why I have him on my list. Great damage dealer, able to really counter dodge teams, and can get a lot of bonus speed and crit chance when going into that Berserker stance. Now here we are with another tank on my list, Traumgar. This is a character you're going to be able to unlock through your achievements. As you get achievements, you're going to be able to get shards for him. Eventually you're going to activate him as a 4-star character. Now what makes Traumgar so strong is the synergy between his basic and his taunt. His taunt gives him the ability to switch between an offensive and defensive stance, but what it also does is then give him the buffs taunt and counterattack. Now, what that means is that when he is hit while he's taunting, he's going to counter, and his basic is able to apply stun when he uses it. So a 35% chance when fully upgraded. They actually nerfed this from the beta. It was 50% chance in the beta, but it was way too strong. They had to reduce the chance on it. So Traumgar is able to stun on his basic, which is fantastic. That you can just stun constantly when countering with him. This is why I have him on this list, is the ability to stun with his basic. This is why he's so popular within the game. If you actually look at his popularity, you can see he's at 81% in Arena. He is a very, very popular character in Arena because of this. He is a strong character. His leadership is also pretty strong too, especially once you start getting an orc faction built up. But as it stands right now, Traumgar, very strong tank. That stun on his basic is great. He's able to apply regeneration on another ability of his as well, but you're mostly here for that stun and the counterattack, and that's why a lot of people use him. That's why he's so popular, and that is why I recommend him as one of the best heroes in the game right now. So following Traumgar, we have another tank on this list. This is the last tank, I swear. Pretty much the best tank within the game. Hands down, the best tank. For one simple reason, his Steel Shell ability. This is something he has that no one else has within the game. Steel Shell allows him to have a damage reduction of 90%, and he's able to gain debuff immunity for 2 turns as well. While he has that, and since there's not a lot of dispels within this game right now, yeah, it's very hard to put debuffs on him because of this. Plus, he is very, very tanky with this ability. So between him with the Hera lead and able to get that pre-taunt, because he is a pride character and he's able to taunt pretty quickly within the match, combined with the Steel Shell ability, he is a very strong tank. Hands down, the best tank within the game right now because of that Steel Shell ability. That 90% damage reduction is absolutely absurd. You're not going to see many characters get that kind of damage reduction, and it's just kind of funny watching him pop that and then just nothing really hurts him. It's really amusing to watch, but it's so frustrating when you start fighting him against other teams in Arena. So if you're looking for just one tank to have for everything, Salvador is my recommendation. He's not very popular, which is a shame, but when you think about it, with his damage reduction and the taunts early on, plus a pre-taunt with Hera, it's kind of hard to see why you would not want to really bother with him. Definitely a character that I like. A lot of other people who've used him say that he's really great. This is one I highly recommend you guys look at farming as well. Thankfully, you can farm him through the arena shop, and that unlocks pretty early on. And here at the next character, we have Nightiel, a elf who does a lot of damage, but she brings a lot to the table as well as a support character. has the ability to give damage increase to your entire team, and she can get that out pretty quickly. And she also has this ability where she's able to remove a debuff from herself and Soleus, a character who's not available yet. But if Soleus is on there, she's able to remove 2 buffs instead from the enemy team. So let's say you have a tank on the enemy team, she goes and she can remove that taunt with just this passive ability. That's a huge deal, and this I think is really cool for her, but also her special ability, Veil of Silence, able to apply ability block and hits like a truck when combined with her ability to give herself damage increase. Here at level 48, I'm watching this thing crit for 15k sometimes. It does a lot of damage. It can one-shot a lot of characters. So she is a nasty damage dealer. She's able to remove buffs from the enemy team and cleanse debuffs on herself. She has a leadership, but that's not too good. But also her basic has the ability to bypass shields, which shields are basically like a protection mechanic. It's a health bar on top of your health bar. So you can bypass the shields and just do damage directly to the health with her basic. Overall, very strong attacker character, able to do a lot of damage, and also with the utility for the damage increase to the team and the ability to remove buffs from the enemy team. Highly recommend that you guys keep her in mind for farming for the future. So following ITL, we have Kyra. This character you can start farming early on as well. You'll find her within some of the shops. Definitely recommend you guys work on her for the simple reason that she is another way to really synergize with a lot of characters. Remember I brought up Traumgar earlier with the ability to counter and stun with his basic. You also get this here with her ability. Her ability here, Go Dark, is incredible. It gives invisibility and applies it to all healers, tacticians, and fighters for 2 turns, and then applies counterattack for tanks for 2 turns. That's a big deal. So say you have Traumgar, you give this to him, he has a counter, he can stun with it. This is another way to get him to counter and stun. But on top of this, with the invisibility, her unique gives her damage bonuses while she is invisible, and then you combine that with her AoE ability, which applies daze, which prevents the enemy from landing critical hits, assisting gaining bonus turn meter, and then you have her basic, which has a 50% chance to apply ability block. Guys, she is a fantastic damage dealer. Yeah, between the utility for the invisibility and the counterattack on the tanks, the ability to apply daze to the entire enemy team, the ability block on the basic, and the huge damage bonus to her with invisibility, she has a lot of potential synergy out there with other characters, something like Hera, a character I brought up earlier. Kyra is just hands down one of the best attackers in the game, and thankfully you can start farming her early on, and you will not be disappointed with her. She is going to hit for a lot of damage, and that daze debuff is super important. If you guys have not started farming her yet from the stores, what are you doing? I recommend that you start farming her right now because she is worth every penny that you're going to spend in those stores to get her shards. And then here we go, Hard Orc. This character is pretty much a premium. You're only going to be able to get him through a special store that you unlock once you get 7-star characters, but this guy, number one, he's playing a guitar, which is just fantastic. I love that. I love this Hard Orc badge he's got here. He's great. I just love his animations. But it's not just that. His kit, he's pretty much a supporting character, and he's hands down the best supporting character in the game right now. Bar none, no one else is better at what he does than him. His unique, his passive ability, gives him the ability to remove debuffs from 4 random allies at the start of his turns when fully upgraded. That's absurd. His ability here gives cheat death, damage increase, and regeneration to 4 allies for 2 turns. He's able to apply ability block to the entire enemy team for 2 turns, and he can apply bleed on his basic. Guys, this guy is absolutely incredible. He is worth the investment in that shard shop, and I don't have him, but every time I fight him, I hate it because he's just so annoying to fight against. He's a great defensive character. The cheat death and ability block makes him a very annoying character to fight with, but honestly, at the end of the day, he's gonna be a character I cannot wait to unlock just so I can get him, just so I can put him on my teams, and then kind of return the favor for all those teams in Arena that I'm fighting that have Hard Orc on them. He's a character that, honestly, if I wasn't on some of these teams in Arena, I would have won already, but this guy with his cheat death and the constant cleansing of debuffs, he's a very annoying character to fight. And then finally, rounding up our top 10 list, Patriarch Key, I believe it's Key. Someone will probably correct me on that. Yeah, I don't know where to start with this guy. He's who I use as my leader in Arena, and his leadership is just insane. All ally healing spells apply shield equal to the 50% of the healing, and all attacks by allies from the order restore 20% of their maximum shield. If you need a leadership that's gonna keep your team sustaining and just going through like a lot of hard hits from the enemy, this is the lead to go for. This guy is fantastic. I love him. He's allowed me to punch way above my class in Arena. I'm able to beat teams that are 10 levels and a couple of gear levels above me because of this leadership with the sustainability. This lead is fantastic. Guys, this guy is just fantastic. He's a healer. He's not the best healer. That still belongs to Santara, but with his leadership, I mean, I don't know who else I'd use in Arena right now because of this guy. This guy is just fantastic. And he's also helped me really carry through a lot of these tougher campaign missions. I'm also fighting a lot tougher enemies because of this lead. If you have to go for one character to really really make a difference for your teams, this guy is high up there because of what he brings to the table. So guys, this is my top 10 list currently for the month of October 2019 with Dragon Champions. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited for some of these characters? Do you think someone else should have been on this list? Let me know down below in the comment section. As always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you guys later.